So from the xt graph, can you visually see the v? I'm not asking vt graph. Can you look at the v? Yes? Okay. So let us quickly try and analyze one of the xt graphs and see whether we can figure out the v very broadly. So I'm going to start like this. This is the xt graph. I'm going to start like this, go up. Okay. Now if I want the v, so I'm going to do the same thing here. So we'll take the same times and we'll take the thing below and say that this is v. Now look at this. At this point, what do you think is the slope? Flat. So what do you think about the velocity? 0. So if I took this, if I drew a point like this, this is where the velocity is. Why? Because this is 0 actually, and this is the slope 0. Then it starts to rise. So at this point, this seems to be the high slope. Correct? So let's come up with some number for it. 0, what number do you want? 2. That's the high number. Okay, we'll call it 2. 2 meters per second. If that is the slope, then at this point, what do you think about this velocity? It is now 2. So at this time, the velocity is 2 meters per second. Now, was it uniformly increasing or not? I don't know. But let us assume it was. Then I just join it. We will later see that to be able to uniformly increase, this requires to be a parabola. Okay. Then from here to there, obviously it's not uniform because it's now continuing to go to 2. And from 2, at this point, what happens to the velocity? 0. So at this place, it is back to 0. So that means if I assume that it was decreasing, it definitely was decreasing, but it need not have decreased uniformly. But let us assume it decreased uniformly, then we're going to go like that. But then it continued decreasing because now the velocity, which was 2, became 0 and then continued to become negative. Maybe till this point, not even that point, somewhere till there, it continued being negative. So if I drew like a dotted line there, this guy went further down, maybe same straight line. Are you following? I am drawing the VT graph from the XT graph. That's what we are doing here. I am not very interested in the particular VT graph, that we will worry about later. What I wanted to do is to follow the fact that we can even do this. So you look at this and you immediately have to look at this point and say, that is the velocity. That doesn't look like that is the velocity. It doesn't mean the velocity is pointing that way. It just tells you that the slope is the velocity. In fact, the velocity is pointing that way because the axis is this way. Okay. So then from here to there, what do you think is the velocity? Well, you already had a nice big velocity here and then it has to come back to 0. What do you think? You think you had a positive acceleration or you had a negative acceleration? Positive acceleration. Because at that point, I have to be back here. And then positive acceleration may be up to this place. Okay, what do you think is the velocity there? Look at that. Maybe it looks the same. Okay, I don't know if it is the same. It looks a little sharper. Let us say 3. I'm just cooking up some number. Okay, so if that is 3, that means it has to go up to that point, and at that point it is 3. Can you see what I'm doing in terms of the time axis? I keep that fellow's time and this fellow's time same. In fact, the most useful way to convert from one x-axis xt graph to a vt graph, the reason I'm doing this is to see that if you keep the time the same, you can say what happened there corresponds to the same thing happening here. This graph and that graph are the same. They're not different. So that means at this time, something happened on the x-axis, but it corresponds to a v because the v actually happened to the object. Where? At that point. At that point, when the object was there, it had a velocity like that or like this. We will see that in a minute. Okay. So at this point, it had a velocity 3, which is this. And so what I'm going to do is to draw this line like that. Then it seems to slow down and become 0 here. How do I know the velocity becomes 0 there? Slope is flat. Right? So that point, the velocity is 0. And then it continues, let us say, till this place. What about this place? It has a slope like this. Seems like a reasonably large slope. How big? If this was 3, maybe that is minus 4, let's say. Okay, so if I say that this was minus 4, then if I bring that down, that means this must be somewhere there, minus 4. And so we start here, we have to pass through some point here, and then we have to get there. In fact, if it was a straight line, I should be able to figure out where this point is. Because if it's a straight line, you know exactly where, because I've got 2 points, you should know where it meets. So let us say this was the point, not there, this was the place. Okay, and then it seems to again, what happens? It's now going to become flat again, it's going to become 0. It starts with a big velocity, negative velocity, minus 4, and becomes 0. Where does it become 0? Maybe somewhere here it becomes 0, which means at this point the velocity has become 0. And so this probably is the line. Now I have assumed that all these pieces were all uniformly accelerated. Now it may not have been. This itself could have been a curve. But for simplicity, I am just assuming they are straight lines. Let us look at this, and let us look at this, and let's draw this on the x-axis. This object started here. As it went up till this point, it started very slowly. How do you know? It was close to 0. Then it slowly speeds up till this place. At that point, it has 2 meters per second. Till then, it was accelerating, let us say, uniformly. Positive acceleration or negative acceleration? Positive. This says A is positive. Notice something. X tells you V, but the V graph tells you A, just by looking at the slope of the V graph. So from here till there, it was accelerating in that direction. Then at that point, it starts to slow down. You can see that now it has a negative acceleration from here till there. By the time it reaches this place, its velocity is 0. But it continues with the same negative acceleration for some more time. So maybe till it reaches this place. So it had negative, negative, negative. That means acceleration was like that, stops, and then comes back down. Positive acceleration, so it speeds up. Then it slows down, and starts reversing. At that point, its acceleration has now become positive again. So if its acceleration becomes positive again, positive acceleration, this is negative acceleration, right? If it becomes positive again, do you think its velocity immediately, it stops immediately? So at this place, it becomes positive acceleration. What is that place? This place. Its acceleration becomes positive. You can see that. Has its velocity become 0? No. It continues to go for a little while. Its velocity becomes 0 there. You can see that here. It started going up, but it'll take some time to go up. This is where its velocity has become 0. So actually it continues moving for some more time. And then, now it has stopped, now it's starting to go up. But as far as the velocity graph is concerned, it's a straight line. Sometime it passes through the origin, that's it. Or passes through 0, velocity 0, not origin, velocity 0. Okay, but if you look at this part of the graph and that part of the graph don't seem to have much of a difference. On this axis, there is a big difference because that's where it turns around. Okay, but on this graph, there is no such speciality. It just passes, cuts across the 0 line. So that means it stops and continues moving. acceleration is constant. Okay, then it continues accelerating, accelerating, accelerating. So the acceleration was negative for this part and positive for that part. Okay, if all this time it was the same acceleration. All this time it was the same acceleration. This was a different acceleration, this is a different acceleration. From here till here one acceleration, from here to there one acceleration, from here to here another acceleration, and then from here to here another acceleration. You can see those as straight lines.
From the +3 to -4, sir, it need not be a straight line.
What is not a straight line? It may not be. I'm just saying it was, assume it was. Because I'm just saying, suppose it was uniformly accelerated, it could do this. It could have been, in fact, why +3 to -4? All this could have been non-straight lines, right? So I said we could have a graph which goes like this. So we don't know if they are straight lines. I'm just saying, let us assume they are straight lines, because just for simplicity, to see what happens. Anyway, we are studying uniform acceleration. We don't want to worry right now about changing acceleration. You could. Graphs allow us to calculate variable acceleration as well. In fact, that's what we'll use for calculating things with variable acceleration. But right now I just want you to understand that acceleration being negative does not mean you can have one part where the velocity is positive, one part where the velocity is negative. It is coming down, that's all it means. In terms of position, positive means it's going up. Negative means it's coming backwards. That's all it means there. It doesn't mean that it will come to the negative side of the axis. So I hope this is clear. Okay. So for this entire motion, this whole thing is one straight line. Please notice that there's a difference between these two straight lines. But there is no difference between this whole thing as one single straight line. But on the motion here, it looks like one single curve. Turns out this curve is a parabola. So if you are studying uniform accelerated motion, you can have three things that make up an XT graph. You can have horizontal straight lines, which are very nice and simple. What does that mean for an XT graph? Rest. You can have lines that go like this or like this, which means you have uniform velocity, positive or negative. And then you can have parabolas that look like this, which means just starting here. Or that can be starting there, so it's only this part of the parabola. So if I took only single part of a parabola like that, this is also a parabola. All of these look more complicated on a XT graph. But on a VT graph, it looks like straight lines. Because a parabola just means uniform acceleration, which means for velocity, it's just a straight line. So if I now think about an XT graph as a bunch of straight lines, so I can think like this. I can say, let us start like this, like that. Now I want a parabola like this. Then at this point you can have a straight line. Now you can decide at this point I want a parabola like that. Okay. Then you can say from here I'm going to go like this. Now you've got a whole bunch of different kinds of lines. You can in fact even decide you want to come down. I've got one parabola, second parabola. Now these make it little messy on the XT graph. But when you get to the VT graph, this guy is going to look like a flat line. That guy is going to look like 0. Because velocity is 0. This guy is going to look like a... now what kind of line? Upward sloping line or downward sloping line? Let's think. Your velocity was negative, it became 0, then it became positive. You started with a negative velocity. At this point there was a sudden jump like that, and then you became 0 and then you went up. Look at this graph. This is a line where it's going up. Look at this. It's going up. Look at this part. Here the graph goes down and then goes up. But if it is uniformly accelerated, it just means negative velocity to positive velocity straight line. Is that clear? So you are doing this. Now that was till this point. This is a dotted line because that you can't draw a straight line there. I'm just drawing a dotted line. Now what about this guy? Straight line means straight line on the xt graph. This is xt. This is vt. Straight line means flat line, uniform velocity. Now if this slope happens to be equal to that slope, that means the ending velocity of this guy is equal to the full velocity for that guy. But that means this is the ending velocity. Let us say the slope was like this. So this is the ending velocity because it's a positive velocity. So this is the zero line. Okay, this is a positive velocity. Now if this is a positive velocity, after that it remains constant. What does that mean? It remains like this. How do I know that's where it started? Because this velocity is equal to this velocity, because it is the same continuation. Now if at this point this and this are continuous, that fellow's velocity starts like that. Positive velocity becomes 0, becomes negative. Positive, no, this goes up and comes down, but look at the velocity. Positive velocity, which is equal to this, becomes 0 and then goes down. So positive velocity becomes 0, goes down. This has to start there. How did I decide it has to start there? Because the ending velocity of this guy is equal to the starting velocity of that guy. That part is a straight line, but that straight line could have been like this, could have been like this, could have been like that. Slope is decided by that curve, which is a little complicated. But we don't have to worry about all that. We just know that it is a curve, it's a straight line because it's uniformly accelerated. And if it is uniformly accelerated, if this velocity and that velocity is equal, then those two have to be the same point. Then suddenly, what has happened to that object? It has come to rest. So what has happened to the velocity? This velocity goes here, becomes 0 till this place. And then the velocity becomes negative again suddenly. Every time there is a sharp change, there is a jump in the velocity curve. So if there is a sharp change, this 0 becomes negative, let's say like that. But then that's a straight line, but there's a sudden jump. Whenever this thing turns around smoothly, this will have sharpness, but you can see that this was like that and it didn't jump. Whereas here it jumped. Why did it jump? Because there was a sharp change in x. Dotted line. Because otherwise you can't have so many velocities at the same time. Correct. Okay, so this has a sudden jump because this is sharp. This has a sudden jump because it's sharp. This does not have a sudden jump because that is smooth. This is sharp. So what do you think about AT? There will be a sudden jump. Because here the acceleration is something positive, then the acceleration is 0. So from a positive number, tawal, it becomes 0. Then it becomes a negative number. So you can go from here to there, from there to there. Now, I know that whatever we have just done is not completely clear. Okay, it will take a while. But what I'm saying is that there is so much you can analyze in graphs. You can keep on analyzing. The more you practice with graphs, the better it will become. I have prepared a whole entire online lesson on just xt graphs and after that vt graphs, very, very slow step by step. In class, I'm now kind of accelerating. Okay, but what we will do there is that you will do it step by step. So please do them because that's the only way to really learn graphs. There will be a lot of confusion. I know there will be a lot of confusion. Key things I want you to understand is from xt you can find vt. Exactly how? A couple of practice questions will allow you to see it. This change is change in x, change in t, time interval, change in position, or change in velocity. Suppose I ask you, what is this? What is this length? This length is this velocity minus that velocity. Time. So what about this by that? Slope, which will be acceleration. So whenever we have, for example, a line like this, usually when I write the number 4 here, I mean this is 4. if we write, let us say 3, we probably mean 3 seconds, 4 meters per second. Now if I put a number here saying 5, it looks like that length is 5. No, but we don't want to say 5. We want to say 4 by 3, 1.33. Now if I put 1.33 here, well, if I said 5 and put it there, it means that length. 1.33 also means that length. But you know, I don't want to say length. What do I want to say? I want to say slope. How do I say slope? Well, arrow, where should I put the arrow? I should shake it. Shade it. So usually what we do is to say, remember slope was rise by run. So we just put a small box like that. If this symbol comes along with it, now you know that we are not talking about length, we are talking about that rise by run, slope. Otherwise we can always write slope is equal to, but the whole idea of mathematics is we don't write much. Okay, so I hope everybody is clear about this. If I draw this and I put a small thing like this and I say 4, I should probably write it inside it, but it's too small to write inside. So I've written 4. What does that now mean? Slope is 4. Well, if that was 4 and this is 3, what do you think is that? 12. Why? Why? Because this by this was that 4. But that 4 was this line slope there. It is also this line slope here. It is also this line slope there. Right? So I could choose anywhere, but if I just mark it at one place and it's a straight line, you know that it's a slope. Now where do we use this most often? You will see that the best place to use this is on a VT graph.